0 to 10.0. Empirical value for Dynapack PEVA, 5.0. Press mode on the HS301 in manual or auto mode, by the up, down button to increase or decrease sensitivity until the evenness of paving layer is satisfactory. Press mode to save the value for sensitivity. Working window is how big a change in grade, slope. The handset will react to with locking regulation. When the working window is exceeded, the HS301 handset will display out and the handset will stop the regulation of toe point and lock the screed until the sensor measurements are within working window. Working window for grade sensor can be adjusted in the interval, plus or minus 15 mm to plus or minus 200 mm. Empirical value for Dynapack PEVA, single sensor, plus or minus 25 mm, averaging beam, plus or minus 50 mm. Working window for slope sensor can be adjusted in the interval, plus or minus 1.5% to plus or minus 9.5%. Empirical value for Dynapack PEVA, plus or minus 5%. Make sure the handset is in manual mode by checking the auto indication is turned off. Press CAL and mode at the same time. Increase or decrease working window by pressing the up or down arrow buttons. Press mode to save the working window value. Deadband is the resolution of the system. If a change in measurement is smaller than the deadband, the handset will not commence any regulation, but if the change is bigger than the deadband, the handset will commence regulating the grade, slope. Deadband for grade sensor can be adjusted in the interval, plus or minus 1 mm to plus or minus 10 mm. Empirical value for grade sensor in Dynapack PEVA, plus or minus 1. Deadband for slope sensor can be adjusted in the interval, plus or minus 0.01% to plus or minus 1%. Empirical value for slope sensor in Dynapack PEVA, plus or minus 0.05%. Make sure the handset is in manual mode. Press MAN and CAL simultaneously. The top display shows the valve for deadband, and the bottom display shows dB increase and decrease the deadband value by pressing the up and down arrow buttons. Press mode to save the deadband value. Press MAN down for 2 seconds to switch between grade sensor and slope sensor. The controlled value is always shown in the top display, while the monitored value is shown in the bottom display. Make sure the auger sensor points vertically to the surface of the material pile, where the material flows. Adjusting the control distance between sensor and material to about 50 cm by pressing plus or minus button on the sensor. Connect the cable to the socket on the side shield and the auger sensor. Set the auger function switch on the panel to the auto position. Turn the engine speed potentiometer to 1600 rounds per minute and the travel speed potentiometer to 0 position. Push joystick forward. Set the auger function switch on the remote control to auto position. Place an obstacle about 50 cm from the auger sensor. Press button plus or minus on the sensor to activate the auger. Plus button can increase the material level, vice versa. It's very useful for getting a perfect paving surface. To have proper adjustments for holding pressure of screed at standstill, depending on the screed width, and the force acting on the bottom of screed, which can avoid a sinking mark or a raising mark, occurring on the paving surface during starting. The default setting in factory is 1620 bar, depending on the width of screed. The wider the width, the greater the pressure. If a sinking mark is found on paving layer, at the position of screed at standstill, the holding pressure should be adjusted up by 5 bar per step, until the mark disappears. If a raising mark is observed on starting paving layer, the holding pressure should be adjusted down by 5 bar per step, until the mark disappears. Loosening the lock nut. Turn the knob of valve clockwise to adjust up the pressure which can be observed from the gauge fitted on the valve body. vice versa. Note: 1. Engine speed at 1000 rounds per minute. 2. Joystick at neutral position. 3. S28 at floating position. If the PEVA is at standstill more than 20 minutes, the rising mark may be occurred at the starting surface of paving layer, due to the hardening of materials. Now the switch S28 can be swiveled to 0 position, to lock the screed for about 6 seconds while the joystick pushes forward. It can eliminate the raising marks. Keep the engine running. Turn the engine speed potentiometer to 1600 rounds per minute and the travel speed potentiometer to 0 position. Keep the joystick at the neutral position. Set the relevant switch to floating position. Loosen the locking nut. Turn the adjusting knob counterclockwise to reduce the holding pressure. On the contrary, turning the knob clockwise can increase the pressure. After the holding pressure is adjusted, tighten the locking nut. When paving with the use of slope sensor, it's recommended to calibrate the slope sensor against the value measured by an electrical spirit level on the paving layer. Press MAN for about 2 seconds to switch the control mode to slope sensor from grade sensor. Make sure the handset is in auto mode. Press CAL, then adjust the value with the arrows according to the value measured by spirit level on the paving layer. Press CAL again to save the value.